Wow, did we see a lot at that Nintendo Direct. September 23rd going crazy. So there's so much in this show that I can't even cover it all. There's just so much there. I'll be here all day, you'll be here all day. So let's get this thing done. I'm gonna go over the big highlights of the show coming up next. Oh yeah. So these are no particular order of release overall. I'm just going to hit up on the big stuff, and we're going to start out with Chocobo GP, which is, oh yeah, Chocobo Racing on the comeback. But Chocobo GP coming up in 2022. I thought that was a really cool thing to show off here. Next we have Star Wars KOTOR coming out November 11th on Switch, and this is the original game. I'm not sure if they did any remastering to it or what the deal was. We do know that Sony is involved in a major remake project with this very game, so I think it's really interesting that Nintendo is boosting up the classic here, and I think a lot of people will be interested in playing this, especially knowing that there's a remake on the way. The next game we have is Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. Kirby's back, y'all. Oh yeah, lots of and all that stuff. You know, I found something a little strange about the world that we were seeing. It was kind of like a, all the people had died on Earth or something, and nature was taking the world back over. Not really sure I understood why they were doing that as a model for a Kirby game, but I thought it was pretty interesting, and the game looks good, it looks fun, it looks exactly like what you would expect from a Kirby game. So next up is Triangle Strategy, which I think is really cool. We got another look at this. I did find it odd that we weren't getting another game name for it, though. I figured Project Triangle Strategy was pretty far off the mark for what they'd call it, but it looks like they're just calling it Triangle Strategy and leaving it that. Maybe they figured if it wasn't broke, don't fix it, because the response to this game was good. It's still modeled after Octopath Traveler. They added some features that they got from feedback from that beta that they released. So this is looking good. I'm definitely interested in this coming up soon. One of the big announcements from this show was the Mario movie, which is going to be an animated production, and that's going to be coming out holiday 2022. And I wasn't really expecting the actor lineup for this. Let me rattle this off really quickly. We have Chris Pratt as Mario. We have Charlie Day, and I don't remember what Charlie Day was doing. Oh, that's right, Luigi. My bad, Luigi. Okay, we have Jack Black as Bowser. This movie is probably going to be a little weird with these major voice actors. I'm not sure if I'm 100% on board with what they're doing here, because I would prefer like animated characters to have the more familiar game-sounding voices, but I guess we'll see. Seth Rogen is going to be in it. I don't remember the part he's going to be playing, but he's in it. Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. What? Okay, so anyways, this movie is coming out holiday 2022, December 21st. You know, this ought to be interesting. I hope this movie's good and doesn't pull a bunch of early Sonic the Movie things where people backlash on it and stuff. Let's hope not. Coming up next, something that a lot of people were hoping to see was Castlevania Advance Collection. This is definitely going to make it so that people aren't going to have to spend as much money on the physicals, and if you like downloading the games or whatever and you ROM this stuff, that's cool too. But this will give you direct and Nintendo Switch access to all that stuff, and you won't have to worry about, forking over a fortune to be able to play it. If you're a collector, this doesn't really help you, but it does help you if this is something that you wanted to play on the Switch. The next really big deal here is Bayonetta 3, and that's coming out next year, 2022, and this game looks awesome. It looks like what I would expect Bayonetta to be. I'm not sure if the Switch's graphical power is capable of really doing Bayonetta 3 the proper justice, but it looks like the game is going to be fun. It looks like it's going to be Bayonetta, and that's really cool, and I think a lot of people are going to dig that. Next, big deal, and this is one of the biggest deals to me because I go way back as far as games go, and that is ActRaiser Renaissance. I loved the original ActRaiser game from Quintet. And it was one of probably my favorite Super Nintendo memories from back in the day. It was also an early game for the Super Nintendo, but it had some, world-building aspects, and then this great 2D fighting game as well built into it. And I'm really happy they decided to redo this one. I wasn't expecting this. I'm not sure how good it's going to end up being, but the video footage they showed looked really good. and that is apparently out today as of the time of this show. So September 23rd, they said later today, I think it was. So we'll see. Hopefully this game's good. I know people are going to be streaming that were ActRaiser fans. And then the big thing that I wanted to really touch on is the Switch Online service. Now, I don't have this, okay? But the Switch Online service, there was a lot of talk about expanding it, and they definitely nailed it with this, I think. They're expanding it with N64 titles and Genesis games. And they're going to start out with a handful on either platform, but they also said, and showed games that were coming in the future. Genesis games like Phantasy Star 4, Castlevania Bloodlines, Nintendo games like the Marios, and all the good stuff. So this is really cool. And on top of that, they're adding in an N64 and Genesis wireless controller that you can buy to play these games specifically with the Switch Online plan. So I thought this was pretty cool and definitely a nice announcement. Wow, I mean, that's not even like touching anywhere near on the amount of stuff that they released at this show. But I thought you guys might like a rundown real quick. I figured I'd put out my thoughts since the YouTube thing is what I do. But I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you guys for showing up here today and checking this video out. And I think you'll be seeing me again. Oh yeah!